those people, right? Then there's people who just hate both sides. They hate the work, they hate the people they work with. And it's like, oh, okay, you're just doomed.
Right, you should have just owned your own business. Like.
And then there's even a smaller few who love both sides, and that's a tougher place to get to, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a balance. I don't think you'll always 100% like the people you work with or like what you're doing for
Sure.
work.
Yeah.
I think there's like a trade-off here and there, but
Yeah.
I think it's important to like it the majority of the time, because I know, like with shoppers, I love the people I work with, but recently it's been very hard for me on my side, because you know, I like my managers, so I've got a front store manager and an assistant manager. They don't like each other, so I'm basically their communicator, and it's kind of become more stress on me, because if I don't communicate something effectively, I get blamed, and I'm like, I'm sorry, you're two 40-year-old women and you can't talk to each other. Hello? Like, you don't have to like each other to work together, but you need to work together to meet the needs of business.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I totally agree with you there. That's where I would probably say in the last few years, I've come to, like, I used to be super codependent, and I executed so well as a codependent person in trying to, like, make everyone happy. I did really well. But it comes to this new place now where I'm just growing to be able to say, here's where my side of the responsibility lies, and I'm going to leave that side to you. I'm not going to take your crap.
Exactly.
It's been a learning process for me, to be certain, but something that's been really helpful over time. Yeah. At my age in life, my goodness, I'm feeling like I'm making inroads finally.
I know, like every time I'm like, oh my god, like I can't believe it. I'm 23. I'm like, I feel so much older. And everybody's like, just wait. Just wait. And I'm like, seriously? I'm already exhausted. What do you mean?
Well, here's the thing, is you're having that level of intuitive insight, say that your two managers don't have access to, regardless of the fact that they are well accomplished in their career. They're overseeing and having responsibility, but they're missing on the really critical components of what it looks like to move forward in a really helpful way progressively in our human experience. That's a big thing. Like, you have 2 decades on them by way of usefulness, in which you don't have to perpetuate the stuff that they're fumbling their way through, right? That's an amazing thing.
And I think that, like, my mom, she works at Mount Royal, and she actually is the faculty, or president of the faculty association now. But she worked in recruitment for 30 years, and she always said to me, she was like, you don't, like, so I used to complain about group projects, group work. I said I hate it, I'm never going to work in a group when I'm graduated, blah, blah, blah. And my mom goes, that's not true. You're going to work with people you don't like all the time, and you need to figure out how to make it work. And I think that was the best advice I ever got, because, I mean, now that I'm in my last year of university, I've had so many group projects, and I've taken over the type A part of it, personality, and I'm usually the one that's on everybody, like, hey, let's get this done, and then, you know, if there's 2 people in the group doing nothing, I have one that comes to me and is like, oh my god, like, let's kick them out, like, we can't do this, I hate this, I hate them, and I'm like, no, like, we have to make it work. We're adults, this is school, we gotta make it work in the real world, so let's make it work.
And the tough part about that, I would say, Sophia, is it's easier not to go that route. That's, like, what you're describing takes a lot of work, a lot of investing yourself emotionally, energy-wise.
Personal leadership, that's like a skill that I definitely have worked on. So.
Yeah, good on you. Yeah, it's easier not to do all those things. It's easier to take the shortcut and just say, let's cut people out. Let's not communicate the way we're supposed to communicate, because that takes work again. To say, how can I understand this person? What am I not seeing that I should be seeing? How can I, like, learn to listen before I speak? So many elements, right? One of the things I love hearing in my travels as an Uber driver is people people's passions, especially in areas where I'm like, I have no interest in that. Economics, goodness, I'm glad that you're thrilled about it, or accounting, which I once took once upon a time, or medicine, or like just so many
there's
areas.
so many things, right? It's kind of like as an Uber driver, like you get to talk to people a lot more, right?
Yeah.
So that I think that must be nice, because it's like there's certain passions that I had no idea that were a thing until somebody told me about them. Like, I mean, I remember when cryptocurrency got big, but apparently there's still people who do it. And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. So it thrills me that there's like all these bases covered in a way, which doesn't happen very often, but it's fantastic when you can see people who are thriving in their elements, and you're like, you're in the right place. It's awesome to see, you know. I may not share, but I love listening to your passion for it. That's awesome.
Thank you.
It's really cool.
What do you do in your free time?
I produce a lot of content.
Yeah?
Yes. So this is a recent sort of investment that takes a lot of time. But I've been producing a lot of videos and ideas. My followers primarily follow me because they appreciate, I think, how I connect with people. So that's kind of cool. It continues to inspire in me a stronger sense of commitment that this is worthwhile. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
That's what I do. So I guess like what I enjoy on a daily basis, by way of like this, for example, you know, it's like, this is meaningful. It seems a lot of people don't get to this level. It's like they may have a fantastic conversation once every, I don't know, 5-7 months kind of thing, and it's like few and far between, whereas I have like multiple every day.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and I think it takes like the right person to really engage in conversation.
And I guess along those lines, that's what I like to try and inspire others is how I do what I do. How do I get to this point where I can know so much more about you, Sophia, for example, by the end of a 20-minute ride? And we've talked about some big stuff. We've calibrated, we've like shared, exchanged ideas, we've divulged, and I really, even though I enjoy it on an ongoing basis, I'm like, I would love to share this with others so that they have that access point too. That means a lot for me.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
Along the lines, hey, I'm thinking this is, I don't ask all of my rides this. I'm usually like gauging and saying, is this one that might be helpful? So there's certain rides where I'm like, love the conversation here. I think it's kind of accessible from my vantage point, because sometimes we talk about things, I'm like, yeah, this is probably something outside of that sphere of appropriateness, you know, because I don't want them to. But like, before I make the request, I want to encourage you to say no if you don't feel comfortable. That's super important. My followers know consent is huge for me. I would love to feature this one here that we had together, but it's not everyone's jam, like I say. So, do you feel comfortable if I were to ask if I could post this conversation to my followers?
Of course. Yeah.
You feel comfortable? Okay. Are you comfortable signing off on a consent form?
Yeah, sure.
Sweet. Okay. I'll get you to do that in the last minute or so here. I'll read through that. It's a video release form there. It's just a legal way of saying, hey, yeah, I'm okay with my image, my voice.
That's so cool.
I'm glad you approve. If there's something that I've come to really appreciate in what I do, it's the way that one can inspire others in unexpected ways.
Right?
But it's a sweet gift. It's a sweet gift I feel I'm given when others are like, holy crap, this is really helpful, and I feel like I'm getting to be a better person just because I see being modeled what could be, you know, and then watching them sort of like venture out on their own to attempt and stretch themselves. It's like, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, no, I think that's super inspiring. Thank you for sharing that.
You're so welcome.
Excuse my superbly messy writing.
I'm thrilled just to have some time spent with you. And that is not superbly. No, it's not messy. I'm delighted to meet you.
It's
I
nice
hope to
to
see you
meet
again along the way.
Yeah, thank you.
You're
I
so welcome.
appreciate it.
Have a great
day.
Friday. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.